If you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you're not okay. But you're functioning well enough that no one knows. You're showing up, you're getting things done. But inside you feel lost, not a little confused, not, oh, I'm in a transition, it's fine. I mean that deep sick in your stomach lost, the kind that makes you question everything. What am I doing with my life? Why does this feel so empty? Why do I have so much and still feel so alone? Listen to me, this matters. Because if you don't understand what's happening inside you right now, you can waste the next 10, 15, 20 years building a life that looks impressive and feels like nothing. And I'm not letting that happen on my watch. Hi, Unbreakable Leaders. I'm Lertjitbanjong, courage decision scientist and leadership coach. For 23 years inside top Fortune 500 billion dollar companies, I watched leaders rise, crumble, and quietly fall apart when pressure hit. And I became obsessed with one question. Why do smart, successful people feel so lost so often for so long? What I discovered is this. You're not lost because you're weak or broken. You're lost because no one taught you how to read your nervous system under pressure. And this world runs on pressure. In this episode, I'm going to save you 20 plus years of wandering. I'm going to show you why you feel lost, what your system is really trying to tell you, and how to use my PAVNESS frameworks, rooted in pressure psychology, trauma science, and leadership, to find direction again with courage and clarity. Welcome to PAVNESS Unbreakable Leadership Lab, Courage Under Pressure. Let's go there. I want you to imagine a leader. From the outside, they've done everything right. They hit the promotions, they made the money, they collected the titles, the house, the relationship, the life that looks like it should feel like finally. But somewhere along the climb, something subtle started happening. First, the Sunday nights got heavy. Then the mornings got slower. The work started to feel like acting. The meetings felt hollow. The wins landed flat. They're in a beautiful house holding a powerful title, scrolling on a very expensive phone, feeling completely numb. They're surrounded by people, yet deeply, hauntingly lonely. Maybe that's you right now. Maybe you've built a life your younger self would have cried with gratitude for, and yet the version of you sitting here tonight feels stressed, anxious, depressed, and quietly ashamed that this is it. You tell yourself, I should be grateful. I shouldn't feel this way. Other people have it worse. But none of that changes the fact that your inner world feels like a foggy airport at 3 a.m. lights on. Nobody home, no idea which gate you're supposed to be at. And here's the truth nobody tells you. Feeling lost is not a character flaw. It's a pressure event. Your nervous system has quietly hit capacity, and your old identity can't carry the weight anymore. So let's talk about what's actually happening inside you, not in motivational poster language, but in pressure psychology language. When life accelerates, new role, new expectations, AI changing your industry, family responsibilities, aging parents, constant news, constant comparison, your system registers one thing: pressure. Pressure in your world, pressure in your body, pressure in your mind. In PAVNESS, we call this the 5P Unbreakable Leader OS. It's the operating system that runs every human under pressure. Pressure, perception, pattern, pivot, presence. Here's how it plays out when you feel lost. First, pressure. Something in your life or work stretches you beyond your current capacity. Maybe slowly, over years, chronic stress, constant urgency, always being on. The AI era has made this everyone's baseline. Second, perception. Your brain starts interpreting that pressure, but it doesn't interpret from truth. It interprets through your past, your fears, your trauma, your unhealed stories. The thoughts start sounding like, I'm behind, I'm not enough, it's too late. If I stop pushing, it will all fall apart. Third, pattern. Those distorted perceptions trigger your survival patterns. For some of you, it's overworking. For some, it's numbing out. For some, it's scrolling, drinking, disappearing into busyness. For others, it's people-pleasing, saying yes to everything, never disappointing anyone. This is where you start to feel lost because your day is full, but your life feels empty. Fourth, pivot. This is the moment where courage either activates or collapses. Most people never get here consciously. They keep running their patterns on autopilot, hoping clarity will magically appear. And finally, presence. This is the identity state on the other side of courage. Grounded, clear, spiritually anchored, emotionally regulated. This is where you feel like yourself again. But you can't lead from presence if you've never been taught how to pivot. So if you're feeling lost right now, what's actually happening is this. Your pressure is high. Your perception is distorted. Your patterns are running you. Your pivot muscles are underdeveloped. So your presence feels missing. You're not lazy. You're not crazy. You're not broken. Your operating system is just overloaded. I've been here too. I've sat in the car in the parking lot staring at the steering wheel thinking, I have no idea who I am outside all this achievement. I've looked at a full calendar and felt completely disconnected. I've had days where the thought of answering one more email felt like climbing Everest emotionally. And I wish someone had told me then what I'm going to tell you now. You are not lost. You are miscalibrated. The big twist, the reframe that I want you to remember, and is this. Feeling lost isn't your life falling apart. It's your old map expiring. The map that got you here, the people-pleasing, the overachieving, the hyper-responsibility, the I'll carry it all identity, that map has reached its limit. You're not lost. You're standing at the edge of the old map with no courage training for the new one. This is where most high performers go wrong. They try to solve lost with more doing, more courses, more work, more strategies, more forcing. But you don't need more tasks. You need a new way of seeing yourself under pressure. Leadership and life in this era is a nervous system sport. You are not just a brain making choices, you're a system, body, brain, spirit, story, reacting to pressure at high speed, and no one gave you the manual. So tonight, I'm handing you your manual. I want to give you one of my favorite PAVNESS tools, the CUP checklist TM, our Courage Under Pressure checklist, so that the next time you feel lost, you have a step-by-step way to get your clarity and direction back. CUP stands for C, clarify reality versus story. U, understand the cost of staying lost. P, pick the next micro move. Let's walk it through. First, clarify reality versus story. When you feel lost, your brain writes very dramatic stories. I've wasted my life. I'm starting from zero. Everyone else is ahead of me. I should have figured this out by now. That's story. Reality sounds more like, I'm in a role that no longer fits. I've outgrown my old identity. I'm exhausted and undersupported. I'm carrying more than one person should carry. So you stop and you ask, what is actually true and what is the story fear is adding on top? You were built for pressure, that you were just never taught how to read your system. Reading your system starts with separating fact from fear. Second, understand the cost of staying lost. We tell ourselves, I'll deal with this later, but later has a cost. What is the cost of staying in this fog? On your health, on your relationships, on your leadership, on your calling? The cost is not abstract. It's your life force. It's the presence your team never gets from you. It's the version of you your partner, kids, friends never truly meet because you're always numb, tired, or performing. When you honestly look at the cost, courage stops being inspirational and becomes necessary. Third, pick the next micro move, not the whole reinvention, not the 12-step life plan, just one micro move that honors who you really are. Maybe that's booking a session with a therapist or coach. Maybe that's blocking 1 hour on your calendar that no one gets to touch. Maybe that's finally saying no to something that's been draining you for months. Maybe that's pausing a project that doesn't align with who you are anymore. Leaders don't wait for clarity. Leaders create clarity through movement. And courage is not a feeling. It's a state you train, one micro move at a time. Now, I want us to go even deeper because if you're still watching, I know you're not here for surface level motivational noise. Here's the spiritual, grounded, prophetic angle of this. You are not lost. You are being reassigned. There is a version of you that could run on hustle, fear, performance, and validation. That version of you was useful. It kept you alive. It got you here, but it cannot take you where you're going. So life, God, your nervous system, whatever language you use, has applied pressure, not to punish you, to prevent you from living the rest of your life as a high-functioning ghost. Feeling lost is your soul refusing to co-sign another decade of misalignment. So if you feel that ache, that question, that is this all there is? I want you to hear this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. Something right is trying to be born through you. Let's make this practical. I want to walk you through an application protocol, almost like a cockpit checklist, for the next time you feel lost, depressed, lonely, or disconnected. Here's exactly what you do. Step 1, pause the noise. When the I'm lost spiral starts, you give yourself 5 to 10 minutes away from screens, away from inputs. Your brain cannot find you if it's drowning in other people's voices. Step 2, regulate the system. 2 feet on the floor, 1 hand on your heart, 1 on your abdomen. Slow, intentional breaths. In through the nose for 4, hold for 2, out through the mouth for 6. You're telling your nervous system, we are safe enough to think clearly. Step 3, name the pressure. Complete the sentence. The pressure I feel right now is coming from, and you're honest, my job, my marriage, my parents, my bank account, my own expectations. Naming the pressure shifts it from this vague fog into something you can actually work with. Step 4, run the CUP checklist. What's reality versus story? What's the cost of staying like this? What's my next micro move? Step 5, ask a higher order question. Instead of what's wrong with me, ask what part of me is being invited to grow up and what part of my old life is being invited to end. That question will change your life if you let it. Step 6, tell one safe person the truth, not the polished version, the real version. I feel lost. I don't recognize myself. I need support. Your nervous system was never designed to hold everything alone. Step 7, schedule 1 act of alignment, not a thought, not a someday. Put something in your calendar today or this week that aligns with who you actually are, a conversation, a boundary, a change, a rest, a step toward what you know is next. This is how lost people become leaders again, not by thinking their way out, but by feeling, naming, and then deciding their way forward. Now, I want to speak directly to the you who feels tired. You are not weak for feeling like this. You're tired because you've been carrying a version of your life that doesn't fit your soul anymore. You have spent years being who everyone needed you to be. For your family, your company, your team, your culture, your image. You've been the strong one, the reliable one, the fixer, the overachiever, the one who always figures it out. But somewhere along the way, you stopped asking a simple question. Does this life still fit who I actually am? If your answer, quietly in the dark, is no, then consider this video your permission slip to stop abandoning yourself. Listen to me. This matters. You can keep the parts of your life that are true and release the parts that were just survival. You can be excellent and still human. You can be successful and still spiritual. You can lead hard things and still admit you feel lost sometimes. In fact, the leaders I trust the most are the ones who know how to navigate lostness without losing themselves. If this spoke to you today, here's what I want you to do. Drop the word reline in the comments. That's your declaration that you're done pretending you're fine when you're not. Share this with one person, one friend, one leader, one colleague who you know is quietly drowning in success that doesn't feel like success. And if you're a leader trying to stay clear, confident, and courageous in a world that keeps throwing pressure at you, this is your show. Hit subscribe, give this a like so more people can find it, drop realign or watch this when you feel lost in the comments for the algorithm, and join my free newsletter at PAVNESS.com. It's packed with tools and tips to help you elevate your career and your courage decision-making so you can become the unbreakable leader you were built to be. I'll see you in the next episode of PAVNESS Unbreakable Leadership Lab. You are not lost. You are being led back to yourself.